He got free nookie and didn't pay. And where the guy was sitting who's getting arrested, there's a bag that this man carried. Can y'all please, can you like get the bag off the bus? Because we don't know what's in that bag. I don't want to set him off, right? I don't want him to think that I'm on to him. What's up, Tokyo babes? It's your girl Pink Tokyo, and we are back at it again with another motherfucking video. Okay, it's your girl. First of all, I don't like what's going on. This little glow, I don't know. Like I don't know how to fix it. So, okay, Diamond, you always want to steal my shine in almost every video. What's going on? Anyway, y'all, so before we even get into it, y'all, make sure you go ahead, hit that subscribe button, you guys. Make sure you guys are following me on all of my social medias, linked down in the description box, and turn on that notification bell so that you know when's the next time I post, because sis, your girl already turned in her resignation letter. I'll make another video about that after my last official day. I just want to talk about something real quick. So today I have a story time for you guys, and this is the reason why I will never ever ride the Greyhound ever again a day in my life. You will have to pay me $1 million, $1 trillion, billion goddamn dollars to pay me to ride the goddamn Greyhound, okay? Especially while preggers, okay? And also, I am 5 months pregnant now. I am 20 weeks, officially 20 weeks, and 1 day pregnant. I had my anatomy scan yesterday and everything went well. I feel like the baby is definitely gonna look like me, okay? Like, definitely gonna be mommy's twin, okay? Definitely a number 2 of me. So yeah, anyway, yeah, basically I'm brewing up a mini me in here, okay? Yeah. Anyway, so y'all, listen, I went back home to visit my family because I had to do this whole situation. I had to take care of some business, okay? I had to take care of some business. Okay, now, the ride to my destination wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But I had a neighbor, right? Because I paid for my seat so I can get a window seat. Because I'd be damned if I sit in the aisle seat and it's packed and I feel congested. And it's like, you know, if you like the window seat, y'all know that the window seat is almost like an out in some type of way. Because you can lean on the window. You could kind of scoot, you know, as much as you can. I just don't have time to be like, I just don't have time, right? I need to be comfortable. So if anything, if somebody sit by me, I need a window seat. That's on the plane, the train, and all of the damn above. That's like everywhere. I must have a window seat. So I paid extra for it. So I didn't realize that somebody was booked to sit next to me. So the first stop goes by, I'm good. You know, I got the seat by myself. And then the second stop goes by, and this handsome old man, I'm gonna give him some props, because he was, you know, it could have been a weirdo sitting next to me, and we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Okay, this is just the beginning, so the man who sat next to me, he was like a clean looking old man. Like, obviously he's about to go see his family. You know, he got people who love him, okay? That probably sound bad. Did that sound bad? Anyway, he looked like he got some family to tend to. Like, he got grandchildren, all that shit. Like, he ain't with that shit. He was very nice, you know. He was respectful. And I remember like some point throughout that ride, like he was like turning, you know, people, it's uncomfortable. And I was getting uncomfortable. But it was a point in time where he like turned his body and I just felt ass all on my hip, all on my right hip. Why do I feel ass on my thigh meat? Why am I feeling ass meat on my thigh meat? Like, explain that, okay? When I felt his bony ass on my thick thighs, I said, oh no, something gotta change. So what I didn't get is that there was like a whole seat in front of us that was empty. And I don't know why he didn't just move up there, you know, because obviously he was uncomfortable. So the first stop, our first break, I was like, listen, I'm about to sit up there. And when he got back on the bus, he tried to sit back next to me. I was like, sir, your seat is in the back. Okay, your seat is right behind us. Okay, listen. So, but despite that, the ride to my destination was fine. Let me take a sip of coffee, sis. Adjust, sis, so I can show them the cup. Hello. Let's fast forward. The ride back home, okay? The ride back home was giving weird vibes, okay? Very weird vibes. vibes.
I want to take the time out to thank Gripjoy for sponsoring this portion of the video. While traveling on the long Greyhound ride, Gripjoy socks has literally been my best friend. During pregnancy, as you know, you can lose circulation in your legs, and I love how I can travel with their socks and look stylish at the same time. All of their socks are designed with grip at the bottom, which is perfect from yoga to home to hospital care. They have so many options to choose from on their website. They even sell men's sizes. So make sure y'all go ahead and check out Gripjoy socks. The link will be in the description box.
So if y'all know how Atlanta Greyhounds run, if you ever been to the Greyhound in Atlanta, you know that it is zombie land, okay? And I peeped it when I got off, like my first day when I came to Atlanta. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that Atlanta Greyhound was like this. But I'm not surprised, because when you go to Atlanta, it's a lot of homeless people. It's a lot of, you know, drug addicts who's on the streets. It's a lot of that. But also, we have a prison, Magic City, and a corner store right across the street. 3 different type of people that can just come into that damn Greyhound. Anybody could catch that damn bus. You could get somebody coming from prison, straight out of prison. Their family done bought them a ticket. They done green dot PayPal a ticket. You got the corner store where you got the drug addicts hanging out. They get all the necessities for their fundamental activities. Then you have Magic City, where you have escorts, prostitutes. You got them traveling from city to city. You know what I mean? And we're gonna get into that, okay? So Magic City, keep Magic City in mind, okay? So we get there, my brother drops me off. My brother walks me in the Greyhound. They said, yeah, you can sit with her, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, when you look around, and you just see, like, you're just looking at your surroundings. I'm that type of person. So sometimes, like, if you're ever with me, it may look like I'm not looking at my surroundings, like I'm unaware, but I'm very aware. I use my peripheral vision. How do you say that? Peripheral vision. I use my peripheral vision to look, and I am looking. Like, I'm scoping out, like, okay, who may be getting on the bus with me, who's in my vicinity, okay? So out of everybody, out of like them hundreds of people that was in there, I spot this man who kind of gave me like some vibes, some like, ugh, like it kind of gave me a little chill. When I looked at him, I was like, ooh, I hope that I don't sit next to him, or I hope he's not on my bus. And don't look at me, Souls, and to be like, oh, you them type that be judging and then everybody does that. Come on, like, I'm not the only person who does that. I'm not the only person. Drop down below if y'all do that too, because listen, I need to know who's gonna sit next to me. I can't be surprised, right? I don't want to be surprised. So I'm definitely looking who's in here, who's getting up in the line to get on that damn bus. The man was like a Mexican guy. He kind of gave off like ped vibes. He gave off like Gideon, you know, like the people that you be catching on Gideon. Like that's the vibes that he was giving. And I was like, oh, you know, ooh. So, and he was just looking suspicious. Like he was just looking around a lot. Like he just stood out of everybody. So my bus ended up coming early, probably 20 minutes early. So they call our bus, everybody's lining up. Of course, I'm looking who's gonna be on my bus. Who am I about to ride with for 6.5 hours, right? So I see the man that I pointed out in my head. I was like, oh shit, he's about to be on our bus. In the back of my head, I'm like, how much you wanna bet he's gonna be sitting next to me? How much you wanna bet this man is gonna be my neighbor? How much you wanna bet I'm going to have to be uncomfortable riding 6 hours with this man? So I load on the bus, I board the bus, right? He gets on the bus before me. Long behold, not only is he my neighbor, but he's sitting in the seat that I paid for. So I was like, excuse me, you know, I said respectfully, I was like, excuse me, you know, that's my seat. And then, you know, it could tell he didn't speak English. And he was like, this your seat? Did your seat? He looked around. He was probably like, fuck. Like, he probably thought that he was about to get a window seat. And I'm like, no, sir, I paid for it. If anybody would ever gave me issues, I'm getting a bus driver. I'm not going to sit here and argue back and forth. I paid for that seat. So you're gonna have to get up, sir. You're gonna have to get up. There's no compromise. Unless you wanna give me $10 back with interest, go ahead, give up that damn seat. Go ahead, get up, get up. So he gets up, you know, he didn't fuss about it or anything. So I was like, okay, cool. So he might not be bad, cause I'm not gonna lie, I thought he would kind of raise hell or like get mad, cause you just don't know who you're riding the bus with. Like there's people who's on drugs who ride the bus. There's people who are homeless. People are traveling from city to city and with no destination when it comes to the Greyhound. And you just don't know. Like, you don't know. There's people who haven't showered in days. And that be my biggest pet peeve, y'all. That's my biggest fear, is sitting by somebody on a plane, on a train, on a bus. I am terrified of sitting next to someone who doesn't have good hygiene. Because if I gotta sit there for hours and I'm pregnant, oh my God, I would probably lose my shit. It would just not go good for me. I would probably throw up in my seat. Like, that's how bad it, you know how it is. Like, if you ever been pregnant, your senses, you just can't, I can't do it. I can't do it, okay? This coffee's so good. But he gets up, set my stuff down. You know, he's kind of looking at me up and down. You know, doing some like very weird, like, one thing about this guy is that he just seemed very uneasy. He seemed very like he was paranoid about something. Maybe somebody was following him, or maybe he was following somebody. Keep this in mind now. Keep all of this in mind. So like, I had a preconception, like a thought. I had this notion that I already made up in my head, because I told you he looked kind of like a pet, right? But I also was like, I feel like if anybody on this bus was to air this bitch out, it would be him. Because for some reason, because you know the Greyhound does not, and I repeat, they do not check people for weapons before you get on the bus. And I don't understand that. I don't understand. Why are you not checking these people to see if they got weapons? Y'all need to go ahead and set up the damn bus station like it's the damn airport. Like, let's be honest. I feel like the Greyhound at least needs to have metal detectors at their stations, because you don't know who's bringing shit. You just don't know. Somebody could bring like a whole bow. They could bring knives. They could bring everything. And you just don't know. They could bring a whole fucking device to blow it up, and people would not know. You know what I mean? So that's the vibes I was getting from him, because I already was skeptical. I was like, okay, they don't have metal detectors. Anybody could bring a weapon on this bus. So I was like, this man beside me looked like he got some weapons on him. Like, he just had his hands in his pocket. He had his hoodie on. Like, he was trying to stay low key. And it was just like, it was just giving weird. It was giving weird. But you know, I prayed. I was like, Lord, please cover me, cover this bus. Please just let us get to and from our destination safely. I don't feel like dealing with all the extra stuff, right? I just want to get home. I'm pregnant. I don't have time. So we drive, right? We drive. And you know, the man, he's looking around still, looking in the back. This is what I don't get. This man kept looking behind him. Like, he was like, why are you looking in the back, sir? Why are you looking at, there's nobody for you in the back. And it's not like he had to go to the bathroom, and we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to all of this, right? He kept looking in the back. He's looking at me, looking beside him. It just looking very paranoid. And we're driving, right? And I want to say like maybe an hour in, he gets up out of nowhere, but then he sits back down. Like, he gets up and walks to the front of the bus. If he needed to go to the bathroom, y'all know that the bathroom is in the back of the bus, okay? Why are you walking towards the front, towards the bus driver? What's going on, right? So I don't know if he like changed his mind about something, but he like turns around and he sits back. So I was like, oh, that's suspicious. So I'm sitting here like clocking it. Like, I'm not looking directly at this man, because I don't want to set him off, right? I don't want him to think that I'm on to him. So I'm like, okay, like, that was a little weird. That was a little weird, Diego. That was a little weird. And he just sits back in the seat, right? So I guess whatever it is, I guess him getting up or something, I don't know. Maybe he had to see something. Maybe he had to make sure that somebody ain't following him. I don't know, Slows. But he sits back down, and I want to say like 30 minutes after he sits back down, he's out. He's knocked out. He's asleep, right? And one thing I hate about people sleeping next to you, like strangers on a bus, is that sometimes you just you can't control what your body does when you're asleep sometimes. So sometimes you could be leaning on the other person, and that's exactly what he started doing. So I'm like, you know, trying to fix myself and shit, you know, trying to wake him up a little bit to just move, you know. So it worked a few times, but you could just feel like the heaviness of somebody's body low-key leaning on you. And I'm just like, ugh. So let's fast forward. Okay? Because we making this story dragged out. Listen, we get to our first stop, our break. We stopped at a racetrack, And this is when you can get off for like 10 minutes or whatever. You can get snacks, take a smoke break, all that stuff, right? So we got there at 11:30, right? Bus driver said, be back on this bus by 10:45. 11:35, sis, you know what I meant. So I had to pee really bad, right? So everybody's getting off the bus. I'm like, okay, bet. So the guy who's sitting next to me, we're gonna call him Diego, I guess. Diego. He's walking in front of me, got his hoodie on. We both going into the store. Diego is right in front of me. He's in my view. I'm like, okay, because I don't want him to touch my stuff. You know, I left my bag on the bus. You know, I left it a certain way. So if somebody try to tamper it, you really got to tamper with it. So I'm like, I don't want Diego. I don't want this guy who's sitting next to me to like try to go through my shit or like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just go in this restroom and I'm gonna pee and I'm gonna come back out and get back on the bus. So that's exactly what I did. Like, Operation We Gotta Fucking Piss was on 10 because I was in and out of that bathroom within 2 minutes because I was not playing, right? And on the midst of me coming off the bus, somebody was like kind of like fussing about a crackhead. They was like, man, I knew that crackhead stole my charger. Da-da-da-da. No, that lady looking at me sideways. Da-da-da. So getting off the bus, I'm like, yeah, I gotta make sure I use this bathroom quick. So like I said, 2 minutes, I was out, y'all. So coming off the bus and hearing that commotion already, it was already like a red flag. So obviously we got somebody who may be stealing on the bus. 2 minutes later, I come out, Diego's still in the store. So I'm like, okay, bet. He don't have access to my shit. I'm about to get back on the bus. And in the midst of me getting back on the bus, I hear cops. I hear sirens. I'm like, okay. I'm like, maybe they're not for us. But then it occurred to me that there was already a police officer in the gas station. I'm like, okay, maybe just one cop. But then I look and I see the cop has lights on. Another cop is pulling in to the gas station. So I'm like, okay, is it ICE? Is it ICE? Because there was also a man sitting in front of me. Okay, now this man sitting in front of me, I should have mentioned him earlier, but he was very irrelevant. Like it was a man sitting in front of me who was like of Indian origin, like maybe he was Indian, Mexican, I don't know. But there was a man sitting in front of me and he was not suspicious at all. Like he looked like somebody who was literally just going like on a business trip. Like that's what he kind of looked like. Like he was just a regular pedestrian. So all of a sudden I see the man in front of me near the cop car with handcuffs. And I'm like, oh. And I'm looking around for Diego, my neighbor, and he's not there. So I'm like, okay, so if there was anybody suspicious, it's not the neighbor, right? It's somebody else. So this man is getting arrested. So tell me why I walk to the bus, I'm asking people, we all looking, you know how black people are, they get off the bus, they nosy, they like, what's going on? So I'm like, what happened, y'all? Like, what's going on? They like, oh yeah, that man got arrested. They saying that somebody had a gun on the bus. What you mean somebody had a gun on the bus? I got on the bus, Medea style. What do you mean? Oh, a gun. I'm like, okay, ooh. They said somebody had a gun on the bus. So I'm thinking, where's the guy who's sitting next to me? Because that ninja was suspicious. He was suspicious as hell. So I'm like, I think they arresting the wrong guy. That's what I'm thinking in my head. But they arresting this man who was sitting in front of me. And I'm like, okay. So I get back on the bus because I want to get back to my shit, to my stuff. And you know, people are talking, they're like, oh my God, well, like what happened? Da, da, da. So I'm like, what happened to the guy who was sitting right here? Because mind you, when I came out the bathroom, the Mexican guy was he was still in the store, like normal, looking at drinks, whatever, like, and I never seen him come out the gas station. So I'm like, ooh, is he involved too? Cause like, you know, they both, I don't know, like I hate to sound racist or prejudiced or whatever. I'm not trying to like, but you know, people got like preconceived notions, you know, like, you know, it'd be like them people that kind of look the same, god damn it. So I'm like, are they working together? That's what I'm thinking. So then all of a sudden, you know, people are getting their stories wrong. I'm hearing stories saying the bus was threatened 3 days ago. There's somebody else on the bus with a gun. Somebody was trying to air this bitch out. It was just like, it was a lot of stories because people were trying to like see what's going on, right? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes go by. We're still not out of this damn. Remember, we supposed to leave at 11:45. We sitting there 20 minutes in. We supposed to been left. And my neighbor's still not back and the guy in front of me is still not back. So I turn around and I see both of them getting arrested. So now they arrested my neighbor. They got him in handcuffs. And they stripping him down, they checking him, they searching him, they taking pictures of him. The police is taking pictures of him, stripping him down, all that stuff. So I'm thinking, oh shit. So I'm telling the people next to me, it was like some black people, whatever. I was like, y'all, I was like, I ain't gonna hold you. The guy sitting next to me was giving off some suspicious vibes. Like, ever since the Greyhound station, I peeped some vibes. So they was like, like, oh my goodness, really? I was like, yes, like, I was hoping that he was not gonna sit with me, because it was just something that's off. Like, I don't know, like, he had his hands in his pocket the whole time. He looked like very paranoid. Because mind you, I kept telling y'all, this man kept looking around like somebody was after him. So I wasn't surprised. I was not surprised, you guys. The bus driver comes back on the first time. He's telling us, all right, y'all, you know, when the situation de-escalates, I promise I'll tell you guys what's happening, what happened, da-da-da. And he stops like kind of like in the row that we was at and where the guy was sitting who's getting arrested. So I see a bag, right? I see a bag, because mind you, I'm pregnant. We don't need no explosives on the bus, right? Just in case. So I was like, excuse me, sir. I said, there's a bag that this man carried. Can you like get the bag off the bus? Because we don't know what's in that bag. If he's one of the ones bringing a gun on it, but you don't know what's in that bag. So he's like, oh, I ain't touched nobody's bag, da da da. I'm like, y'all literally have this man in handcuffs. Get them damn bags. So then the other people, they're like, yeah, check the bag. You know, we don't know what's in that bag. You know, they agreeing with me. So, you know, he's like, I can't touch nobody's stuff because we don't know. It's not confirmed yet. Da 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 da. So he gets off the bus. 20 minutes later, again, we waiting, right? He gets back on the bus and he tells us the story, right? So apparently the guy in front of me didn't pay an escort. Mind you, there's Magic City right across the street from the Greyhound in Atlanta. So I don't know if he got this prostitute from the club last night and he didn't pay. But apparently the guy in front of me didn't pay an escort, and the escort was sending him threatening text messages, and he thought that somebody was following him, and he thought that somebody was my neighbor Diego. He thought it was him. Because I'm not gonna lie, Diego looked suspicious as hell. And I wouldn't be surprised if the guy did think that he was following him. The moral of the story is they ended up arresting the guy who sat in front of me. Because apparently the guy in front of me gave the bus driver a letter like while we was driving, and I didn't see it because I was on my phone. I was watching movies or whatever, you know, just trying to take my mind off of the fact that I got a creepy neighbor. So I didn't peep that the guy in front of me went up to the front of the bus and gave the bus driver a note, and the letter was saying that somebody's threatening the bus. The bus driver already had the police at the gas station before we even got there. Kudos to the bus driver, because he was actually a really good bus driver. Because my first bus driver on the way there was like, he was an Asian man and he did not give a fuck. He did not care. They was kind of like unorganized. And on top of that, Greyhound, I was supposed to ride a Flix bus back, and there was no Flix. There was no Flix of the Flix. Where was the green? I didn't see no green on my bus. It was just a random fucking bus. It was just unorganized. My light died. Damn. Anyway, so it was just unorganized, y'all. But basically they arrested the man in front of me because he caused disruption. They took him off the bus and they let the guy right next to me back on the bus. So the bus driver was saying, nah, this man is innocent. This man is innocent. Da, da, da. I'm like, ooh, please don't sit back next to me, because I was uncomfortable, because the bus driver knew that all of us was kind of like uncomfortable, especially me, because he was about to sit right back next to me. And the bus driver seen he was about to sit back in his original seat, and he was like, hey man, just sit right here, man, because he already knew I was not fucking with it. So they let Diego back on the bus, and Diego ended up being innocent, and it was the man in front of me this whole time that had some weird shit with him. So basically the moral of the story is, do not judge a book by its cover. I mean, that man Diego probably could have still had some shit. I don't know, maybe he was running, maybe he was looking for ice, maybe, I don't know. It was just, something was still off about him. But it was the man in front of me who looked normal as fuck. Like, he looked like a normal guy. Like, he probably had kids. Like, he looked like he had a dad bod. Like, you know, he looked normal as hell, and you wouldn't have thought that it would be him that would get arrested out of that whole bus. Yeah. That's the reason why I'll never ride the Greyhound again. Okay, it was so ratchet. It was so ghetto. It was so unorganized. So, like, listen, Greyhound is unorganized. I don't know how y'all Greyhounds run, but the Greyhound my trip was unorganized. Like, because for one, going to Atlanta, the bus number was wrong. It was wrong. So I had to literally ask the bus driver, is this going to Atlanta? Coming back, I was supposed to get on a Flix bus. And if you know what a Flix bus is, it's green. And I was not on a Flix bus the second time around. So the number was wrong and the type of bus I was getting on was wrong. So it's just like, Greyhound, what are y'all doing? What are you doing? Cause I'm sitting here looking for number 127458. Why is it saying 500? Like, just make it make sense. And make it make sense. I don't know. But yeah, I meant to tell the story a few days ago because it would have been like way more fresh in my mind. But it was just like, bruh. I was not with the shits. I was not with the shits. I'm pregnant with child on this damn Greyhound. You better take both of them motherfuckers off the bus next time. That was just weird. Like, and then you hear people saying, oh, remember the last time when such and such was stealing? I'm like, oh God. It's that bad on these Greyhounds, girl. Oh, and on top of that, I seen somebody speak. Somebody behind me was getting super duper comfortable, and she had a Chucky doll, and it was just, the whole bus was just giving weird vibes. But anyway, she was so comfortable to the fact that she put her feet on the window, but her feet was damn near touching my damn shoulder. It was not on the way back. It was not a pleasant ride. It wasn't. It was too much going on. I was ready to get off that damn bus. And I'm never gonna ride the Greyhound, especially pregnant. Greyhound, y'all gotta get it together. It's literally like a hub for homeless people and people getting away from crime and shit. Obviously, this man was trying to escape his escort because he didn't pay him. He got free nookie and didn't pay. And the crazy thing is, why are we knowing this? Why are we knowing this man's business? Because he's paranoid. And he thinking people following him. He blaming, girl, never again. So I don't know, I'm gonna just have to be bougie and pay like an extra $70 for a plane ticket. You know, I can't do that. If I ride the Greyhound, I'm definitely not riding it by myself ever again. Ever again. Make sure I have my mans with me or a friend that I trust. Cause the Greyhound, that's like a whole society in itself. Never again. I kind of want my money back. But I guess I got here safely. But it could have been worse. But also, it was a lesson because I kind of felt bad for judging Diego like that. And I thought Diego had a gun this whole time. I thought he had a bow this whole time. I thought he had weapons on him and he was clean. He was clean when they searched him. So maybe he could have hid the weapons in the stove. Who knows? So I felt bad though. Cause I'm like, damn, I don't tell these people that he was giving off weird vibes. And he was. It's like nothing wrong with being aware of your surroundings, but I did feel kind of bad because I did judge a book by its cover. But he looked like a ped though. He did look like a ped. He looked like something from Gideon's YouTube. I'm telling you. I am telling you. Like, sis, I can't. Anyway, y'all, but that was my story time. That's the reason why I will never ride the Greyhound, especially pregnant. You'll never catch me on the Greyhound while pregnant ever again, okay? Anyway, yeah, y'all, if y'all enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will see y'all in the next video, okay? Tokyo babes, we're out. Bye.
I'm a big bitch, I'm a thick